All right, welcome everybody. This is your HYROX live stream English watch along. I've got Ryan Kent, North American HYROX champion. I got Anthony Perressini, husband of Lauren Weeks, the current female GOAT of HYROX, head coach of the Hybrid engine. Looks a little dark here. I'm sure the lights are going to come on. Can everybody see the screen very clearly?
I always forget when people are sharing the screen because I go to like enlarge it and realize I can't do it.
That's exactly what I did.
Can you guys see everything now, though? Are we looking at everything now? I recognize Pelayo in that purple shirt. I see our boy. Where's our boy? Where'd he go? I don't see our boy, Kent.
He's probably, oh shit, hang on.
He's not
He's
sleeping,
in there.
is he?
He's got his shirt off. He's right there in the middle. He went no shirt. He said he was going to wear a shirt, but I told him, you take the shirt off, it means you mean business. So he clearly means business today.
Don't you wear a shirt? I feel like you wear a shirt.
No, dude. I wore a shirt one time at HYROX North American Championships last year when I bombed, and I was like, that's it. Never wearing a shirt again.
Oh, I think I remember you from the Spartan days. You wore like the Spartan long sleeve.
Oh, yeah. Spartan days for sure. But inside, nah, I'm good.
There we go. Lights came back on there. Maybe they're just in a dark part of the facility.
So you want to talk a little bit about the women's race, maybe, as these guys just do their first run. It looks like what we would call not a fast course. That's what everybody's obviously thinking, looking at previous times. Great cameras, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, they were didn't know which camera to use at the beginning. I wouldn't say it's not a fast course. I mean, it looked comparable, fine, probably
For sure.
fast. Well, watching it live, it looked like it. The girls were 106, and some of those top girls, their best times are like a 105.50. So they're only like 12 seconds off their best time. Which you don't know which course they got those on, but the two girls that were 1 and 2, Alina Wilnow and Jezebel Kramer. Alina was in the Elite 15 last year, or back in May.
Jezebel was like 15th seed and finished 14th or 15th. And I believe, I hate to do this, Anthony, but I believe they are women.
Oh, sorry.
You have a little girl in your house, but Jeff, these are big women.
The women. I apologize.
It's okay. I know people. I don't want people to cancel you, Anthony. So I'm getting ahead of you. So who's this in the?
I woke up real early. Their race was at 4:10 in the morning my time. So
who was that?
I went and watched them.
Who was that in the headband?
I think he was in the preview list of athletes. I'm not sure exactly who that was. I'm just looking forward to Rich versus Jonathan Wynn. Honestly.
Yeah, so in this race, you have Rich versus Jonathan Wynn, and I know Tom Hogan's on site, but I don't think he's racing.
That's Sean O'Malley running a HYROX. Why he watches MMA?
I watch MMA. My college wrestling partner just got a fight scheduled for, I think, December.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's going for the belt against Edwards. I know UK's big in HYROX, so they're probably rooting for Edwards, but I'm always going to root for Colby Covington.
For sure.
Yeah, he'll I think he'll take it from him too.
Are they going into the SkiErg?
Yeah.
The camera's facing the wrong way.
Yeah,
that looks like 100. That looks like 100 men going into the SkiErg.
They have a lot of SkiErgs, and they're all lined up in a big, long, straight line. It was really confusing this morning because there's like 6 or 7, and then there's a big gap, and then all the rest.
So is this one of those situations where they have great cameras, but they don't know how a race works? Show us the first people.
It is a little bit. It was like that. It was like that at first, and they stay on the stations a long time. You don't get to watch people running. So going into this station, I have the leaderboard up right now, and I don't see Rich's name on here.
There were a bunch of dudes in front of Jonathan Wynn and Rich coming into that first run.
It says, yeah, they aren't even in the top 10 because that's all it shows me on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not stressing about that.
So that first run was really fast for the women too. The women ran the first 1,000, and it's probably a short 1,000, but they ran it in like 3:20. The men just ran it in 3:05.
I think we got, from what Rich said, I think we've got a longer rock zone. So they'll make that up by keeping the runs a little bit short.
Yeah.
But Rich is usually pretty conservative here on the ski. He's made a point to be a little bit more aggressive here today. I think his goal is to average 146, 500 pace, when normally he's around like 148, 149. So we'll see. I started to watch. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna ask you, because you know Rich better about that. Is that for, I mean, 2 seconds, 4 seconds overall isn't going to be a big difference. So is it just for his confidence then that way? Or do you think he'll feel better going a little faster here, like getting out in front?
Yeah, I think part of that mentally, but I think he's always been a little bit too conservative here. I think he could push and gain 4 or 5 seconds here without much effort. If he was already skiing like 145, 146, and then trying to do like 143, 144, it'd be a different ball game. But since he's usually so slow here, honestly, that I think he just has a few seconds, get out. And then I think he wants to dial back this run a little bit after the ski, because he wants to come in and do something he hasn't normally done, and that's be aggressive on the push.
So I can't tell, but I think they just skipped over his monitor pretty quickly, or the camera sped up right on it. So are they trying to cut him out because they're mad at him? He doesn't get airtime.
Probably they're very mad at him.
Rich has talked so much shit on these Spain courses that.
Do you think they made it a longer course just for him?
That would be going to like the extreme. I don't.
We're just gonna make sure. Screw the course. We're gonna make sure you don't get it.
Still haven't seen Rich. Have you?
I saw him come in.
They were behind him and they skipped right over him real quick.
Yeah, but if you said they learned it on the women's, you think by now they learned, okay, guys, this time watch the people in front. Those are the men you want to watch. These cameras are beautiful.
I think they have like 6 cameras and maybe multiple people took them, and maybe different people are filming this time.
You'll be getting ready to get out of here soon.
Yeah, they should be. I think that's the first guy right there getting out. Looks like tan guy, Cruz Mermy, France.
There's Pelayo.
Wow, that was a big group of people, huh? That's Rich. You can tell. Yeah.
Those back muscles, baby. Those back muscles looking jacked.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the bald spot, but
I will get a good look at that here.
For our international audience, this is a watch along. We're allowed to be a little biased for our American friend, by the way. This is not an official
is that Wynn
podcast by HYROX. This is us doing a watch along. So yes, we will be rooting for guess who? Your boy.
So it looks like coming out of the SkiErg, Rich was in 7th and Jonathan Wynn in 10th. So
I sent you gentlemen the link. If you can take a moment on your phones and share the live link so those can join us. Comment below, by the way. I will be checking the comments if you have interesting questions or thoughts.
So Jonathan Wynn's PR came in Malaga 2023. He got a 56.58. And then so he's right now sitting in 8th out of the qualification spots, while Rich Ryan is sitting in 21st. His PR 59.11 came in Dallas 2023 as we watch him go by the screen there. Just for anyone interested.
No, keep bringing it. Keep bringing those facts and figures, baby. That's why one of the reasons why you're here. A, handsome. B, good coach. C, facts and figures.
I tell you what, man, I think I get more nervous watching my friends compete than I get for my own self. I think I just like, I know how much this means to Rich, and I know how much work he's put into it. Just like, fuck that. Come on, man. Let's pop a good one today, man.
That's exactly right. And I get way more nervous watching Lauren compete than I do if I worry about like, oh, I'm gonna go do this one or something.
We've got a plan for this push too. He typically breaks too long. So we're going to try to keep the breaks quick and often, honestly. So we'll see what he's got. He's going to alternate technique too. He's going to lock the elbows in for pretty much as often as he can. And then he's going to go with just like the real aggressive push if he feels like he needs to go do that. So he's just going to switch up the technique a little bit. The goal is to have the sled push and the sled pull accumulative time be less than 7 minutes, 6.5, 7 minutes. And that's going to put him in a good spot for the rest of the race.
That's definitely possible. The first men are coming in right now. Looks like Pelayo's in second. That's a familiar name.
He won HYROX New York.
Yeah. And then Eugenio is in first.
He won HYROX New York from the third wave.
Yeah. So I've seen this name Eugenio Bianchi before. I'm not exactly sure where. But also Pelayo, yeah, won New York. Now it looks like more people are coming in. I guess Tan guy came between Eugenio and Pelayo. Ben
Pelayo's
Shepherd.
legit. I mean, Pelayo's run 62, 63 in the States a few times.
I mean, these guys are flying right now. They're coming into the sled push under 11 minutes.
There was Austin. That was Austin in the camo.
Was it?
Austin.
Yeah,
Azar.
Austin Azar's in 7th right now. So he passed Rich. Rich is in 9th and Jonathan Wynn's in 10th.
This is good for Rich. He's not somebody who really likes to lead, at least not yet. So to have some guys in front of him, I think is going to benefit him.
Yeah, I mean, that's a quick sled push. It looks like somebody was just coming back from a length or going down on a length, and or maybe they just finished their first one. And Rich was only 17 seconds behind the leader, and they already finished a length by the time he got there. That's a fast push.
Spain, baby, Spain coming through.
Couple of comments coming in from one Dylan Scott. He says Wynn's workouts have been bad run wise. I don't expect much from him today. And then he said Pelayo has a great engine from triathlon. He has been putting in a lot of work, so I expect a day from him.
And he's in his home country too. I mean, yeah. I think he lives in America, but he's a Spaniard. But the race is yet to begin. I mean, we all know this.
This is all, yeah. This is all funsies.
I mean,
I want to see, I kind of gauge it like who's holding their pace on the rower. Like you can kind of tell from there if somebody is struggling on the row versus if they're comfortable. Because you're closing it out from there. So we'll see when they get there. Do you know, did you talk to him like what Rich is looking for to hold on the rower? Is he going to do about the same as he did on the ski, or?
No, the row I think is just a place to regroup. I don't think it's a place where he's going to try to capitalize too much on like the race itself. It's just like, okay, like we made it through the rough part. Let's regroup here and then get our mind right for the closing stretch.
So you got people already out of the sled push. This tan guy, Cruz Mermy, did a sled push in, let's see if I can do quick math, 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
That's about what I did in Dubai, I think.
Yeah. So I'd say the sleds are typical European sleds. I mean, not crazy. That's what it looked like Dubai was too, was just like typical European ones.
But
They're
wasn't
not the
wasn't Barcelona really fast last year, or was that Madrid?
Barcelona. Yeah.
I don't think they were
know,
under 2. They weren't under 2, were they? They were like 2-0, maybe 2 teens.
Yeah, I can go back and look.
There's Austin. He looks like he lost some time maybe there.
So Rich,
Yeah, what we got here? What we got?
it's not updating. Jonathan Wynn made up some time. He's in 6th. I know Rich isn't running for placement, but if he's back in 10th place, it doesn't matter if his time is 59. He's got or 58.
Right.
Then you got 10 people, right? So it looks like Austin Azar was in 10th and Rich Ryan is not in the top 10.
Okay.
So let's just check in if we can see what Austin Azar's sled push was. 11:06 to. So Austin Azar's sled push was a 3:06. You have some people down in 2:20 and Austin just above 3.
So this
I got it pulled
Peter
up. 337 for Rich.
This Peter Mass 211 sled. Do you see that from Belgium?
Yeah, I was just looking at the difference.
Is that from an earlier heat?
There shouldn't have been an earlier heat. Is there?
Yeah, I didn't think so either. But he has a 211 faster than everybody. Did he skip? He might have skipped one. Maybe he didn't push all the way.
Pelayo had a 303 push and Rich had a 337. That to me, that just seems crazy.
And
Like, there's no
Austin had
reason-
a 3:06.
There's just no reason why Rich should lose 30 seconds to those guys on that station unless he's just still being conservative. But that's not what he wanted to do here. He kind of wanted to be a little aggressive. So
Well, I mean, look at these guys still pushing. I wonder if there's differences in the where you're at. They lined up Rich directly on the sled push lane they wanted him to have, They said, all right, this is going to be his.
Yeah, but do you guys not think this 211 is fugazi?
No, that's really fast. That's
what I'm saying.
crazy.
A minute and a half faster than everybody. Is it possible that he missed a turn? Especially for a guy we've never heard of.
Possible.
And it's blue.
I feel like you would notice that, right? Like people would be like, yo, like homeboy just did 2 lengths of the push.
So Barcelona, Hunter had a 225 last year. But Barcelona was definitely the fast course. That's where 3 people went under 57, or no, 2 people went under 57. Jonathan Wynn hit a 58.
So what if Peter, this is the only thing he wanted to do? He's like, I'm just going to go and push the sled faster than anyone's ever pushed it and then just quit.
Maybe. So Eugenio, the guy that was leading there for a minute, he was also in Barcelona last year and finished just under 61 minutes. So he might just be coming out hot because he's leading right now going into the sled pole.
If Rich has a 337 push, I mean, if he wants to hit that 7-minute marker, he's going to have a good pull.
Yeah. I thought Rich would be making up some ground on the runs, but it looks like a lot of these guys are running pretty quick. So you got 6 guys that all came in. Jonathan Wynn's in 4th into the sled pole. But Eugenio came in 10, 30 seconds ahead of others. Pelayo was 26 seconds behind. And
Rich,
in the top 10, I still don't see Rich.
I mean, he had, I think, the slowest sled push out of everyone. He's not even
look at this.
showing up.
He pulls back. He's going hand over hand. This guy came ready.
Is that Eugenio?
That's Eugenio. Yep. Eugenio Bianchi from Italy. I don't see anybody else that does that walk back, hand over hand pull.
Normally it's too freaking heavy. You can't do. Unless you're what's his name from HYROX Sydney, CrossFit guy.
Oh, Ricky Garrard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look to me like on the Australian sleds, anybody could hand over hand pull it.
The key here for Rich, man, is just like you can't panic in this moment here. Like you just got to stay poised. Like clearly it's not the start that he wanted, but he's got to trust his fitness and that like everything will kind of play out.
So all I can see is the top 10 on the leaderboard right now. I don't see Rich's name. I do see Alfons, who Rich, says is him. There's Rich right there on the screen.
Did you discuss gloves with him, Kent?
No, but he's done that. He's done that quite a bunch. He stuffs them in his pants.
But I mean, these guys are flying right now. They're into the sled pull under 18 minutes. They're moving quick. So
right. So Rich, I mean, he might not time wise, he might be okay.
Yeah.
But it's still you lost 50 seconds to Jonathan Wynn at the push. Like that's just
Dylan thinks Eugenia is going to get popped at the burpees.
He looks like a smaller athlete. I mean, smaller compared to the rest of these guys. It's hard to tell with the shakiness, but at least the guy next to him is bigger than him.
There's Christian, co-founder of HYROX in the beard there. There's our boy.
Rich looks like he's laboring.
International travel, man, that can happen. But he slept. Like he's got a good amount of sleep since he's been there. So
I was gonna ask, do you know what his process was when he went over?
Just to kind of sleep whenever he could. I think he actually landed Thursday morning and slept for like 6 or 7 straight hours.
So are the judges talking to them about walking back? Was that what
they're telling them their legs are crossing. So you got Jonathan Wynn and Eugenio are out, but according to the leaderboard. So Jonathan
but
Wynn
it's like
and
we're
Eugenio.
also watching them. We're also watching them come out.
Yeah. Well, it popped up before the video did, so I'm wondering if it's a little lag. But it looks like if that's the case, Jonathan Wynn took over the lead there.
Yeah, 316 pull. Pelayo with a 350 pull. I mean, there's no reason Pelayo should outpush or pull Rich. And Pelayo's he's a great athlete, but like I can't imagine him being stronger than Rich. That guy, he's done for now. Way to go, buddy. You had 3 good stations.
Let's keep positive here. It's all love today, buddy. Nothing but love we got. Don't bring that American hate.
A little bit of American hate. Come on.
Bring the American haterade. So that's Jonathan, right? They got the camera on the leader now, right?
Yeah, I think. Looks like it.
Yeah, interesting. Lots of cameras, but not quite the plan of how to shoot.
Yeah, they have some great angles that they could get from. It's just I'm not sure they have it in the right spot or connecting to the right ones.
Speaking of hating to be a hater, it's like I get it. You don't know these guys. You can't have all the pretty graphics, but you can understand how a race works. Somebody on that producer headset goes, "Okay, there's our leaders. We even have a nice tracking board that shows us who the leaders are. Let's try to show the order of the race." And obviously, we don't know what they're saying either. But come on, man, give us the race. Oh, the food spring zone. That's my favorite one. You go in there, you get some food.
So, Ryan, since you might have a little more insight into Rich, do you think being out of the top 10 right now and still running that he might mentally be checking out of it, or is he still in it? Is he staying in it?
That's a good question, man. I honestly don't know. Like Rich with a 429 pull. So
holy cow. So he wanted to go sub 7 minutes on his push and pull, and he went over 8.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but
It's not. He can definitely come back from that, but he's got to take the back half of the race now and have some energy for it or something.
I sometimes think, and Rich is my boy, I sometimes think he puts a little bit too much pressure on himself, you know, to perform. I'm sure being the only American over there, all the shit that I know it's all been kind of fun banter, but all the shit talking he's said on the Spanish courses and kind of the back and forth between him and Wynn. It's like, has any of that affected him? Like, I don't know. I'd like to think not, but this is definitely not where he wanted to be. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to tell burpees are going to be a place where we really find out if he is still okay and within himself, or if he's just not having a good race. Because if he throws anything like 240 or slower here on these burpees, he's not feeling good. But I think if he can keep it 230 or under, he might still be within himself a little bit.
Okay. So just for reference, now that we got a guy coming in, looks like Eugenio.
Yeah, he passed.
Yeah. Comes in at 25:31. And at this point, Hunter makes up a lot of time in the front half of the race where he gets a lead. So I would expect them to be about
skip. There's a little skip.
Dude, homeboy's fucking cheating. There you go, Christian. Get on.
So I'd expect them to be about 2/3 of the distance behind where Hunter's pace was. But Hunter came into the burpee broad jump at 23:48, and they were 25:31. So you're looking at about almost 2 minutes behind the Barcelona course from last year.
I know for me, when I'm having a good race, like a 57-ish type course,
There's a little double.
I'm coming out of the burpee broad jumps around the 27-minute mark.
So we just had somebody that was in 7th from Great Britain, Tony Revell, accidentally went in the row instead of the burpees.
Oh boy. It happens, man. Race brain is real. I once caught David McGee going in the wrong station. Upcoming dates for you for the HYROX Academy.
I don't see any update on Rich's time here. So he's still on his 4th run. And these guys look like they might be finishing up their burpees.
Is it 4
laps? Ooh, look at that guy's. Look at that guy's.
That guy's not in the elite field.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Where his foot's going.
And it looked like there was an injured woman just sitting there. Maybe they should move her.
Well, it's probably leftover from the team's races.
Right, but they need to move her like out of the way. That's not good.
Yeah,
for sure. Eugenio's definitely toying with the line like here on his standard.
Hey, can you?
Yeah, Eugenio's out now. What's that?
Did you guys hear that? Can you get to your knee like he's going to?
Yeah, you can step up to your knee. I was watching earlier. I think one of the best burpee people at the women's race earlier was Jezebel. Man, she would go down, she would pick her palms up, and her feet would directly place like right underneath where her hands were. She'd stand up and jump, and then like it was great form the whole time. Whereas like some of the other women, one woman was like she'd kick her leg up next to her hands and then almost take a whole nother step and then jump. Like she was stepping into her jump.
Austin looks like he's having a decent race. Yeah, I mean, for Richmond, it's first HYROX in a hot minute, you know, and sometimes it just kind of kicks you in the teeth.
Yeah, I really
But-
hope we see something on the back end from him here. Come up and get after it. I mean, it is kind of defeating if you're 2-3 minutes down from the leaders, though.
He just took,
far
he
into the race.
just, well, you could see him back there. He was about to start his second length back, and he just stood up, took a long, deep breath, almost like, fuck.
Come on, Rich.
So,
Don't give up. buddy.
so I just saw his splits. I really hope he doesn't give up, because his running, he ran a 3:10, a 3:38, a 3:49. You know, you want to see him stay under that 4 minutes, and then his last run was a 4:03.
That's not good.
Yeah.
He's not feeling great. And he's getting, the thing is too, man, he's getting beat by guys that he has beaten before in the States, like Pelayo and Austin. Like, he knows that he's beaten these guys. So for them to be in front of him is not going to help the mindset.
So usually the back half can be a little bit faster. And Austin Azar was a 29:39 on the front half. So 29:39, you're looking at like a 59:30, 59:20 for Austin if he keeps it up. So I don't know how far behind him Rich is. It looks like Rich did a 2:35 on his burpee broad jump, which
That's
I
not
think
bad.
that's pretty good for him. That's good for him, right?
Yeah.
But we're looking at like you got to be under 59 for sure by the
Oh,
time this year's over.
he needs
right?
to be 58 flat.
to make it to Chicago. You mean?
There's
So-
still a chance, even in the place that he's in, that he could get a roll down.
Yep.
He's in the 20th spot, and there's a chance that 5 people in front of him, like Hunter, for example, is not going to come to Chicago. So there's one right
Well,
there.
I don't know if you listen to Hunter. He said he's going to be there, but not race. He might be there, but not race.
I hope he races, because your boy's going to be fit in Chicago.
Get as many reps against him as you can.
Exactly.
So right now, Rich is sitting in 21st with a 59:11. If he wants to get above the 15th line, he's got to go under 58:44. If he wants to be safe in it, he needs to be low 58s. Right now, Austin was on pace for a low 59, which, depending on how low it was, it could bump Rich further back. And Austin was, what, 10th place, 9th place? So if all these people go under Rich's time, you're looking at bumping him back even further, which would be detrimental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin isn't known. I mean, honestly, the farmers and the lunges, he's good, but his wall balls have not been, I think they've been slower than 5 minutes, honestly. So we'll see how Austin closes out this race. I'd love to see him bump up in there, because he kind of got a raw deal at that Poland course.
Yeah, I agree with that. How are Rich's wall balls right now? Is he gonna?
They're good. I think he was
Good.
feeling super confident, but you know that all that can change kind of depending on how your race is going.
Yeah.
So
But,
will,
I mean, if
he
he's
be,
looking-
will he be motivated to try to do, you know, a set of 50 or 60 off the jump? You know, if you're winning the race, sure, like let's try to do this. But if you're already kind of mentally defeated, maybe you stop at 20 or 25.
I always like the idea of your first set's going to be your biggest. Just go in there until you mentally have to break.
Mhm.
Like pick up the ball, start doing them. Just do them until you absolutely can't, because you can always do 5s after that. You know, you can always do
Right.
7s. Like, so if you can get your first set to
That's
65, 70, then you only got, 4 or 5 sets of 7 to finish.
That's the approach I like to take too. This Eugenio guy is actually impressing me a good bit.
He is doing very well. He got into the rower at 32 minutes, which is phenomenal. Like he's on pace here for, what is that? 16, 8, 8, 24. So about a 57, 58.
Is Pelayo in second, or did Jonathan Wynn
Third.
just not go to that rower?
Yeah, right now the scoreboard says Jonathan Wynn's in second, about 30 seconds behind Eugenio, and Pelayo's in third, about a minute behind Eugenio.
It's Pelayo.
Pelayo. And Austin Azar is in 2 minutes behind Eugenio.
Quick question, just on timing. If they're going to wait to run the men this late, why not just have them at the end of the day when the course is more clear? It seems like there's a lot of women, a lot of various people on this course.
Matt, you know, we don't fucking know why they do the things they do.
Like if you're not going to do it back to back with the women, why not just wait? I don't know. Just think it out loud.
I am a big proponent of why don't they clear the course for the pro racers? Either run them super early in the morning so that they have a clear course, or run them at the end of the day after, you know, so that the run course is clear, because you watch a lot of those like New York and LA and the women's course earlier here.
It's not just the run course. Look, they got to find rowers for them.
Everybody just thinks they're a fast runner and stays on the inside. So
yeah, could you imagine?
And they might not know the rules. They might just be, you know, out for a week, you know, a couch to 5K that's just out doing it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine, but could you imagine though, coming in as like in the men's pro race and there's not a freaking rower to get on?
You gotta wait 30 seconds for somebody to finish so you can get on a rower.
I would just like bump. I'd be like, yo, open athlete, you gotta go. You got to hop off.
What do we think about this pace, gentlemen? What do we think about this row pace for our boy Eugene?
He was just finishing up.
He did in like 342. That's not terrible.
He was faster earlier. The row pace on screen, that 156 was his last couple strokes, just finishing out the rower. He's moving good though. 36 minutes at the end of the row. That's yeah, I mean 58, 59 is what he's looking at.
Do you have any previous times on this guy?
So at Barcelona last year, he ran just under 61 minutes.
So he's improved.
I can find his other races. Give me a second. I'll let you know.
God, man, I just want Rich to have a freaking good race, man. But
so, I mean, he hasn't. Oh wait, that's not him.
I'm betting right now Rich is on pace for 60, 61.
Yeah. So Eugenio has never broken an hour. His best time was Barcelona last year, where he was 1 hour and 52 seconds. Otherwise, his other races look like 62, 63, 63, 62, 64, 67. He has a lot of races though.
Mm-hmm. He's clearly having a breakthrough performance here.
Well,
and he's got to be feeding off of beating Jonathan Wynn, who was 6th at the World Championships. Man, you can't even imagine what kind of adrenaline that's kind of going through his vein.
So it doesn't look like he has the greatest back 3 stations though. He's over 2 minutes on his farmer carries. He's not terrible on the lunges, but over 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes on the wall balls. So we'll see how he closes out. But yeah, he's had a great first part.
But these times are so wonky. Like I just looked at those burpee broad jump times, and Jonathan, Austin, and Rich had like the 17th, 18th, 19th best times. So I feel like there's guys getting in there with not doing enough laps or wonky timing or something.
I mean, how do you not do the whole burpee broad jump though?
Well, or just no form
down
at
and
all.
back. So
just no form at all.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but it's
Yeah,
I
like
don't
who's
know.
this guy with a 125 burpee broad jump time?
That's what I'm saying. It all seems a little wonky. I'm sure by the finish they'll straighten it all out. Food Spring zone, favorite zone. Gonna say that every
So
time.
I'm gonna click on some of these guys. I don't see any assessed penalties. Usually they put the penalties in the bottom right away, like to make a note that they have one. But let me check something.
Rich Ryan with the fastest row so far.
Maybe he's
404 with transition.
he's just coming out to crush the back half of this race.
It's just like, but I mean, it's only by like a few seconds, you know. It's like, what's that compared to like the minute and some change he lost on the push and pull? Hard to, yeah, but I mean, he put
Do you
8
guys,
seconds on Jonathan Wynn on the row.
Rich or Ryan,
Yes, sir.
for those watching out there, do you think there's any benefit in doing an all-out HYROX sim, or should you only just train stations and similar muscle, movements?
I mean, it's hard to simulate a race scenario. If you can pop into an actual race 2 to 3 weeks before your big one, I think that's the move.
But if you're at home and let's just say you've got a gym so you can go out and do the runs, come back and do the machines.
I prefer breaking it up into segments, like break the race up into smaller segments. Rarely will I ever do a full HYROX simulation. So I think it just beats you up too much too.
Are these 50 in each hand? Because I know in decades
70.
Decades 60, right?
These are 70 in each hand.
And what do the women go with?
53 in each hand. Because it's not measured in pounds, they're measured in kilos.
It's kilos, mate.
Halos.
But Rich did have 32. The fastest row. So
these two looks like
Haley was in a fight, dude.
Yeah, these two are in a fight, Pelayo and Jonathan.
Yeah.
He's about to pass him. Look at this. He's making a move.
He's again, man, like he's got to be feeling good.
He's
Jonathan
drafting.
Wins.
He's drafting.
6th in the world, man.
He's cutting down on that wind resistance.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really hoping we see the greatest comeback ever right now, just on these last 3 stations. Rich Ryan gains 20 seconds. Rich Ryan gains 30 seconds. Rich Ryan gains a minute. Where did he come from? Hit the podium.
If he can somehow close out the lunges, in a respectable time, and then put in a sub 4 on the wall balls, which is good for men, he still might end up with a decent time here.
Pelayo just see that? Pelayo just put his kettlebell.
Yeah, he put him down.
Oh, Wynn passed him again.
Yeah.
Dude, in Dubai, they had those fat grip kettlebells. I'd never have come so close to like wanting to set them down. I made it all the way through, but dude, it was hard. It was like legit challenge.
That was something like I talked to Lauren about the fat grip kettlebells, like, because Farmers last year, everybody knew it wasn't a great station for her, so we worked on it, and then to have fat grip kettlebells pop up at Dubai was like, oh no. And she did well there, but she had heard that they had talked about, like, Christian and somebody and the race directors there were talking about adding weights to the sled beforehand or something.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that?
She's the one that told me that.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I was like, did they actually do that or not? Like, I couldn't count the sleds with the filming there, but
I don't know either, honestly. I don't know. It didn't feel super heavy, but it didn't feel light either. So
yeah. Well, while they're running here, Rich, sorry, I did it too. Ryan, what's your you guys got the similar, I'll just say Ryan.
For sure.
That should be fine. What's your race schedule this year?
Honestly, I don't have anything coming up until HYROX Chicago. So this will be one of the longest training blocks that I've had without any other like races in between. So it's just nice to just focus on training, not have to think about any racing. And then I'll make a decision on whether or not I want to go to Sweden or DECA Fit Worlds. Right now I'm leaning towards Sweden because DECA owes me money and it's
Wait
just
a
not
minute.
cool, man. It's
Wait a
not cool.
minute.
It's been 6 months.
A Spartan
Yeah.
race, a Spartan race company owes people money. When this is breaking news.
Look, I mean,
They never pay late.
there's Austin. I mean, you had to have gotten a lot of respect for HYROX when they paid you cash on the spot. And
Dude, that was
right?
gangster, man. That was gangster.
Well, but that's not necessarily HYROX HQ though. That's a specific country doing it. But I've heard of HYROX. But HYROX has always paid you on time, right? For Lauren, quickly.
Yeah, within a month they usually pay.
That's fair. That's fair. Net 30 sounds good. I think for nice to get it on. The
Yeah, I mean that's
I could
companies,
even
right?
do a net 60. I could do a net
Yeah.
60 if it comes to it. But anything past that, I'm just like, you're killing me. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you have opportunities for reps against Hunter, like we talked about. He said he's going to Stockholm, Vienna, and DC. And
Well,
did you
definitely,
hear?
I'm going to Vienna. I'll be in Vienna.
Yeah.
Flights are
Did you
cheap
hear-
right now from the States to Vienna.
Oh, really? I gotta look into that then.
From Denver, they're like $600 for round trip.
That's a good deal.
I heard you can get high with the pilots too on the way from Denver.
All right, don't you always get high with the pilots? Is that not a thing? No. Dad jokes. Okay.
You got any farmer carry splits here for our boy?
Rich looks like he did a 136 on the farmer carry. That's moving. I know
one Vivian.
Top women do 130, but 136 on.
I just want to be
Yeah.
swole like that guy. Hey, Anthony, one Vivian Tafudo asks, Anthony, has Lauren decided on HYROX versus DECA?
Yes.
I assume she means world championships.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lauren signs up for these like flight deal things. And actually, while she was in Dubai, got a flight deal where it was only $150 more to fly to Stockholm round trip than it was to Dallas. So we bought tickets to Stockholm already.
But what did you point out to me the other day?
What? Oh, that
you could do both. You could do both if you really made it. If you really wanted to work for it.
I sent Matt a flight. There is one flight where you can fly. You can do DECA Fit, not DECA Mile or DECA Strong. You can do a DECA Fit, hop on an airplane, and make it to Stockholm before the HYROX race. So Chris Rogalski, if you're out there, your best bet is you can actually do DECA Fit and Stockholm.
Believe the word
Here
you're
we
looking for is Rogalski, but nice try. I don't know. How do you not know how to pronounce that name?
I just get tongue tied.
So I sent it to her right away because I said if anyone could and would do this, it would be you, Chris. So I sent her those flights. It would be awesome if she did it.
Yeah.
Christian looking fit in his tight shirt. You think he wears a size half too small? What do you think?
Maybe. Christian actually last year, he just bumped into
We were
at Dallas and I was talking to Christian and he said he was doing a 5K a day. He was in Dallas running a 5K on the assault runner. And he said
Have we seen a 1-2-3? Have we seen a 1-2-3 battle like this?
Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing right here.
They're really
And
close too.
A hell of a race from Pelayo right now.
I'm gonna stop correcting you. You're just gonna keep saying it wrong.
What is it?
Pelayo.
Pelayo.
So
Rogalski, Shadeg.
Looks like Hunter from the back.
Wait a minute. Is it Shadeg or Shadeg? Shit. Which one is it?
Shadeg.
You guys said it differently than the two ways I said it, but okay. He's your boy. Isn't he with you in Colorado?
Ryland's in Salt Lake or Ogden.
It's Ryland, not Ryland, but I'm just going to stop. I'm done. correcting you guys. Just keep saying whatever you want.
I think you're hearing it wrong. I'm pretty sure I said it right. You should get your ears checked, Matt. So Austin Azar, he's been consistently in about 9th place here. He's 2 minutes back, staying consistent though. Those top 3 are within 15 seconds of each other.
Wow. Who's best on the balls? Do we know?
Probably Wynn. I think Wynn.
Yeah, probably Jonathan Wynn.
I do know this last run is a little bit longer than the others, so coming up on 49:30. I mean, we could see a sub 58. It's possible.
So, I mean, I'm just looking at splits right now. Ever since the run after the sled pull, Rich has been tearing it up. He's running 342, 355, 342. His row was fast. His farmer carry is fast. He's on the lunges now. You know, he might be making a move coming back up. I don't think he's going to catch these top 3, but he could do really well and actually work his way back in here.
How are you able to see the individual runs?
Oh, you have to go, if you're on the leaderboard and you search for Rich Ryan and you favorite him, you do the little favorite thing, they show you his splits the whole time as you're going
Oh, he's gone. Go after the one where he went like 4-0 something.
So his runs after the sled pull was a 403, after the burpee broad jump was a 355, after the row was a 342, after the farmer carry was a 342. So he's putting work in.
I wonder if just the beginning of the race was just kind of like a shock to the system, like not having experienced this in like several months.
I was gonna say it's been almost a year, right? It's been 9-10 months.
And now he's like settled in. He's settled into it, you know.
Did he run a sim 2-3 weeks ago? I mean, if I was him, I would have probably put together something 3 or 4 weeks ago, a month out, so that he could feel that feeling.
Yeah, he's been doing, I know he's been doing some 100 wall balls at the end of like interval sessions too. So there, like you said, there is a chance here for him to.
I'd really like to see him.
I don't think he's gonna get a PR, but he can kind of salvage the day. I think.
So another guy, Ruben, Patino, Vietes, just came in ahead of Pelayo.
Yeah, Pelayo lost a lot of time there on the lunges, which is kind of to be expected. He's not known for his lunging ability. I
want to go see what the run split or the lunge splits are, but I want to see Rich finish first before he.
What was Wynn's total time coming out of lunges?
50 minutes, 50:37.
So he's not going to break 58 because this next run will be 4 minutes plus, because I know it's a little bit long.
Yeah, so I don't think 8 minutes added.
Probably.
He might break 59. Which, I mean, it's not his best time. He already has a qualifying time, so it's just winning the race for him. But Eugenio was 1 second behind Jonathan Wynn, so he might break 59, get his first time under an hour, and jump into that Elite 15, which would push Rich back another spot.
Austin Azar with a 236 lunge. That's elite. That's elite.
So that lunge for Austin brought him 30 seconds closer to Jonathan Wynn, the leader. He was 203 going into the lunges back, and now he's only a minute 33 back.
Wow.
And you got Rich with a 329 lunge. What was Austin's?
236.
Holy cow. He came out ready.
I mean, 329 is not, I mean, you'd like to be close to 3. So if he can continue to run well, if he can continue to, did his run drop off on that last one?
No, he's looking at a 61 finish time though.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be looking forward to listening to Race Brain and hearing the breakdown or whatever your guys' What's your guys? It's
Yeah,
not mile
we-
hybrid anymore.
RMR.
Rumors. The rumor channel.
Rumor. There was a rapper named Rumor that was RMR.
That's what we were going for.
Is it?
Armor was kind of like what we were leaning towards, but I think we just ended up going with our initials. Oh man. Wonder if they're in the middle, Rich just got pissed off about just the situation and just started getting super aggressive. Just out of anger.
Yeah, his 6th and 7th runs. I wonder if his 8th run, maybe. I mean, to me, I don't know. I think HYROX serves a lot of different body types, and the type that Rich is, he should attack the runs more. He'll make up more time than anywhere else. But I don't know what his top running ability is, compromise running ability. So it looks like he was doing really well until after the sled pole run.
I think all of his numbers, like across the board, have been like at least up to the standard that he's been at in any other race he's gone into. I think he was feeling super confident. I talked to him this morning. He was ready to roll and felt good. But I know I'll talk to him probably not long after this race.
We could probably get him on here. Maybe not right after.
See if he wants to. So with Rich's running ability, how hard is it for him to maintain like a 5.5 minute mile? Is that
it shouldn't be hard for a guy. That should be smooth for him, honestly.
Because I mean, I feel like if he could maintain that, he's running 325s on all his thousands, and you know, he makes up a lot of time there, even if he gives up 10 seconds on each station.
Right.
All right, we've got Christian head of HYROX with the clicker there.
So the wall balls this morning, watching the women's race, they were iffy on the first girl. Jezebel's looked great. There was another girl there from Canada, Maria, though, that I don't think she really broke depth until the judges were like, the head judge came over and like, no, she needs to get lower. So I think she ended up in 5th though. And then, but I mean, they were looking like they were judging pretty good. People would get no reps for missing the target like they should. They would get some no reps for hitting depth, but not as many as, you know, you might have felt should be doled out.
Is Wynn gonna pull this out? What's going on here, man? They both are kind of holding the same pace a little bit.
Yeah, Eugenio broke, but it was a quick break. So it was just a shoulder break, which is good.
Where he lost his hat somewhere.
Do they not have those little paddles? You know, they show us the count.
No, I didn't see him earlier. I don't think
well,
Spain does
I
that.
guess they're trying to give us a close up. They're trying to give us a close up, but they are giving a discount code instead. They're trying to give us a close up on the clicker.
There's Austin. So did you say, Ryan, do you know, did Austin stay over there from Poland?
He's been over there for work this whole time. So
what does he do?
I think he's an engineer of some sort. I think.
Well, my job to send me over to Europe for a few months. It'd be great. Take Lauren and Lily with me. Hit up all the HYROX races over there.
No doubt.
78, 79. Wow. 20 more.
Yeah, we're looking at probably like 58 mid.
But we don't know where Pelayo is. We don't know where Jonathan is. Jonathan was in the lead coming into the wall balls, we thought. Yes?
No. Eugenio was in the
no
lead.
reps. Just got no reps.
We're at 58-15 right now.
So that's what they need to qualify the Elite 15 is they have to finish in the next 30 seconds. Jonathan Wynn's already in, so his
no rep again.
Matter. If Rich wants to stay in the spot he's at, it's 59-11. Oh, Eugenio's breaking down.
I'm telling you, man, when your body starts to
Oh, there goes Jonathan, as predicted by you two. Jonathan Wynn. Do you see the time up there? I didn't see it.
58-38, maybe. Which is-
58:37 according to the leaderboard.
Looks like 3 more.
So it looks like Rich ran his 8th run at a 4:02, which
And it's
if it's,
it's
long, that's
long,
probably
so-
fast. Yeah. So he's trying, but he just doesn't have it in him to break an hour on this one. So there goes Eugenio getting his first sub 1 hour. As soon as that comes up, I'll tell you, he finished at 59:01. So that's gonna push Rich back another spot.
Found his hat.
But do we think will he come over?
Maybe. I mean, he's
Yeah.
ran a lot of races. He's got at least 10 races under his belt.
True.
You don't know if that's, what he was trying to do. So 59:01. So it looks like Rich will only lose 1 spot on this race. So he still could possibly get an invite to Chicago. He'll be sitting in 22nd. He'll need 7 people to say no.
Who's that? Who's that just passed Pelayo?
That I think is the Ruben guy, Ruben Patino. Let's see. I'll tell you as soon as his name pops up. And then Pelayo's in 4th.
No,
Pelayo
came
works on his lunges and wall balls, and he could be a force.
There we go. Rick Patino, former head
Rick
coach of
Pitino.
the Celtics.
Ruben Patino. 59:47.
And then Pelayo, Menendez. Look, these guys crawling all over the place. Love it. Gotta love it.
So let's just see the difference, because we got somebody that finished now that did both New York and Madrid here.
Pelayo. Yeah.
Pelayo is 4 minutes and 7 seconds faster in Madrid than New York.
All right. Well, Rich, this was your day, buddy.
There's Alfons.
These
Alfons.
times are like, they're okay, but honestly, I expected them to be faster, if I'm being 100% honest.
I thought they would have probably been a little faster too.
But was that Pelayo's first race in New York? Because if it's his first one, he could have learned.
No. He's been at a few. He's been in the mix at like all the US races, like Houston. I know he was there. I think he was top
All right, well,
5.
then we know this was a faster course then, because I thought maybe it was his first one ever. But I guess 4 minutes would still be a pretty huge jump. Here
I know that
comes-
New York course though, where he went 63, was not like a favorable course. I think
No,
Lauren went to that one too, right?
Yeah.
There goes
comes
Rich, 61:30.
That was that New York course was very crowded. They were bobbing and weaving the whole time. And actually she was saying she probably should have changed up the strategy and just cruised on the runs and tried to hammer the stations as hard as she could to see what it felt like, because there was no way they were going to let them run fast with how crowded the New York course was.
Rich with a 350 wall ball. So, I mean,
So yeah, so his last 4 stations, and his last 4 runs, he was crushing it. He got bogged down in the beginning. Maybe, do you think he came out a little too conservative? He just,
I don't know, because they came into that first SkiErg like not even in the top 10, right? So
yeah.
it's not like he was way out in front, or
Did he get bumped and moved, like rubbed? Like, I
I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, everything from Burpee broad jumps on was fine.
Never mind.
101.34 is his official time. And then it looks like they've got the times wrong there. T Franzen, they've got T.
Yeah, I think they're just inputting it, and so it'll update as they input it. Yeah, see.
So where does that rank against his other times, did you say? If this one was a 101.34,
His best one is a 59:11.
was that World Champs?
No, that was in Houston,
Houston.
right?
You wanna take the board down and pull up some splits, maybe? Pull the big screen down since the men are finished.
You're doing it. You have control.
I know, I'm asking you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got the top 10 men. We can look at their splits now if you just go into the
So Rich finished ninth, about 3 minutes back of Wynn, and he lost those 3 minutes in the push and the pull. That's it. They basically ran the same race, except for those two stations.
I just want to know what happened. You know, he lost 30 seconds on his run after the pull.
Maybe just like a moment where he's like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, assessing just.
All right, so here's our top 10. What would you like to look at? What would you like me to zoom in on?
So
great race by Austin, man. First, it's a big PR for him.
101.07. What's his best one so far? Is that
like 63, 64?
So wasn't Tony the guy with the ridiculously fast?
Yeah, I'd go look at this one. He might have a penalty if you scroll down. Do you see? No penalty. He's the one that went into the row. He went into the row instead of the burpees. At least that's where it appeared at. So maybe they didn't correct it.
All right, so let's break down Jonathan's win here.
Man, those guys came out so fast. Look at it. They're doing 3:58 and he's 13th.
Wow.
That's with the long transition, because that was a long transition all the way through the SkiErgs. You know, there was like 20 SkiErgs set up.
Right, but so that's what I'm saying. And burpees, he's 24th. So there's like must have been a bunch of other guys that just did it wrong.
Well, no, I mean, that could be like 1 or 2 seconds, though, if he's just in the group of everybody doing it within 3 seconds, except for the one guy that did burpees in 1:25. Like, I have no idea what that's about.
No, but have you ever seen anybody in a pro wave like how be in the 20s? It just doesn't seem possible.
Sometimes it messes up. I've seen times where like who was it? Faye Stenning put up like a lunge time, and then all of a sudden it was like 34th, and you're like, that's weird.
So it looks like it looks like Rich had a great row. And let's look at the runs.
Look at his sled push.
Looking at his whole race, I would just, the two things that stand out are the push and the pull. Everything else is fine, honestly.
Yeah, that push, that pull, and the run after the pull.
Yeah. Yep. Which could have been that run after the pull. He might have just been like in his head a little bit, like, you know, pissed off about the situation.
I mean, but together that's 2.5 minutes, which puts him at a 59 flat. All that added together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 59 flat would put him ahead of where he's at right now.
And what do we think of this run total? Just under 30-minute run total.
So add the rock zone and the run together.
Mm-hmm. So now you're looking at about 34 minutes, which isn't fantastic.
Yeah, 34:05 is not terrible. Here, I'll do quick math on that. Let's see, 34:05
for 8.7K too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts, fellas, before we wrap up? We're obviously disappointed in our boy Rich. Any other final thoughts on overall for the season, or this race, men's or women's?
No, I don't. I mean, for me, I don't like. Obviously, Wynn is kind of my competition. I think he had a good race. I don't think he did anything there to really frighten me. You know, like I'm not overly concerned about Jonathan Wynn. But clearly he's in good form. He's in a good place right now, heading into the first major. But other than that, I mean, yeah, just Austin. Austin had a great race. He's clearly getting better. And we'll find out soon with Rich what. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be too upset. 61. I mean, other than his few breakthroughs where he did break 60 last year, this has kind of been around what he's been his career. So he's probably going to look at this and be like, I got some work to do, but I'm not going to overreact.
But he does
Glad
have
you-
two. But he does have two disappointing races in a row. So I feel like he might not be in a great place.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Ryan, because I was curious, is he gonna decide to retire now from this, or is he gonna like keep trying after? I think he should definitely keep trying, not worry
Well,
about the
hopefully-
course, just go out there and attack his strengths. But it looks like, so I added together his run time with the rock zone and divided by 8,700 meters. He was running at about a 6:18 per mile pace.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Not for somebody-
Where should that be?
Sub 6.
Yeah, for Rich, probably sub 6. So
All right. Anything about the women's race? I know you watched. Very
I
sleepy.
didn't watch it.
Very sleepy.
yeah. They were running. I didn't see it as a long course when I was watching it because Jezebel and Alina Wilnow both ran within 20 seconds of what I think their PRs are. So, their PRs are like a 105.50 or something like that. And they ran a 106.04 or something. So in a 106.06. So it's not far from where they would be. Especially, I think that's the first race of the season. You had some interesting competition for the top 5 women the whole time through, right up until the wall balls. So it was a good race to watch. I don't know what'll come of it or if any of them will come over here for the Chicago race, but.
All righty. Well, I think we can wrap it up.
Spain won.